Welcome back to the VIE Media channel. Thank you for tuning in. As always, I'm the CEO here at VIE Media, Eric Brown. We've been off air for a little bit. So I'm glad to get these going. We have a ton of Monday marketing episodes here on the VIE Media YouTube channel. Of course, stuff changes, but a lot of the stuff that we talk about, you can take into practice and use for a long time. Now, what I wanted to do, since I haven't been on here in a minute, is kind of go through some updates really over the last few months. So let's get into that. So number one, let's talk about SEO as it relates to Google spam crackdown and AI traffic boom. This was a core impact. So let's look at, really traffic volatility, right? So traffic up and down. You're like, what's going on? And then, what does recovery really look like? So the spams updates dust has settled, but volatility persists. Sites with AI spam saw 30 to 50% drops per SEMrush data. If you're not aware, SEMrush is just one of the many SEO tools that companies can use. AI traffic, it's niche, but exploding, with Perplexity up 192% month over month in mid-2025. Of course, Perplexity is, similar to, ChatGPT and Grok and all these other programs and Claude, etc. So with that said, Google's August 2025 spam update rolled out August 26th through September 22nd. Confirmed complete on September 22nd after 27 days. The spam brain-powered refresh targeted scaled content abuse, meaning auto-generated blog farms, which we've talked about for a long time on this podcast now when AI really started, which is going to be a lot of the people took advantage at first, and you were able to get websites and traffic ranking very quickly by just throwing up thousands of pages on a website, right? That doesn't really work so much anymore because, of course, Google has been actively attacking those that are taking that strategy because, of course, it's not providing any value to the end user that would be going to that website, right? So 40% of the affected sites, this is mostly e-commerce and affiliate, lost 20 to 40% of traffic. Local businesses hit hardest with 15 to 25% your money, your life ranking dips. Google notes 3 to 6 months for fixes, but periodic refreshes could extend it. One agency reported a client's e-commerce site rebounding 18%. A travel blog network dropped 35%, but reported 22% post disavow and original content push. People are obviously upset throughout the SEO world because how messy it is. Unlike core updates, it seems like on this implication, there are no winners, just losers, right? This ties into broader AI content scrutiny, with 60% of SEOs now using human AI hybrids. So if you're in SEO, you want to look at disavow links, Google's disavow tool. You also actively want to be monitoring Ahrefs, SEMrush. Obviously, you have Search Console, right? There's a ton of SEO tools to be able to use. You want to make sure that you're adding, author bylines in your citing sources. And of course, always be monitoring Google Search Console for spam detected flags, right? Search Engine Land and other places have a lot of good information on this as well if you want to dig deeper. AI search traffic explodes 527% in 5 months. From January to May, LLM referrals, obviously large language models like we've talked about with those Gemini, Perplexity, etc., surged 527%, hitting only 0.15% of global traffic, obviously tiny compared to Google's almost 50%, but growing, 3% month over month alone. In August, they put on 55 million new users. Perplexity led with 192% growth, 153 million visits in May, favored structured and conversational content, ChatGPT also is up as well. So with that said, what's the problem? Google still sends 345% more traffic, but AI is eroding, anywhere from 15 to 64% for info sites, right, that I've talked about. So what do you need to do? You need to be, again, doing what I just said above. Obviously, we've seen September ranking drops. Mid-September saw an unexplained 50% impression drops in Google Search Console, tied to Google's parameter removal, right? Breaking SEO tools, which is the @NUM equals 100 parameter, if you care or want to know. And quality rather than tweaks. It's not a full update, more data cleanup, but 20% of sites reported 10 to 30% volatility. One e-commerce saw impressions have September 10th, but users stable. So you need to be working with a marketing company, or if you're in marketing, you need to understand how, AI overview and how these LLMs are affecting search, and how to make sure that, the businesses that you're working with or your business that you own or market for, is not going to be detrimentally affected like some of these websites which lost, half of the people going to them, which is insane. Because if you have a business relying on that, that means you just lost half of your revenue. Just like that. Bye-bye. All right, Google Ads. Obviously, we have expanded tools. We talked about Performance Max, I think last time I was on here, and how, now, allocating some of the budget to Performance Max campaign may make more sense. Costs are up, 15 to 20% from AI competition. It's a problem. As I've continued to say, the cost for Google Ads is going to continue to increase. It just is. And there's not a lot we're going to be able to do about it, right? Obviously, we're going to have to, change that and the cost for things that we're selling or the services that we're selling. But I foresee, in Gemini and in a lot of these, LLMs, that they're going to have paid ads eventually. They're going to have to, because that's how Google obviously makes a ton of their money, right? So we have an ever-changing landscape, and AI overviews and LLMs are detrimentally, really, affecting businesses that rely on search. And that's just the bottom line. So you have to make sure that you have a marketing strategy in place and you have the right people in place to ensure, because marketing is only going to get harder from here. It really is. It's only going to get harder from here because these companies are making it more difficult. We have ad restrictions continue to tighten. But the nice thing is we do have, we're able to now handle more themes in Performance Max, which is great. Obviously, campaign level negatives, which was a huge thing of why I didn't recommend it in the past. But now, like I said, Performance Max, look into it if you're running Google Ads. And of course, it's something to test. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But at least you know, because if you don't try it, you don't know. Obviously, social media is authenticity over algorithms. But of course, we see, viral content go viral every day. But what we're seeing is that, being authentic is working right now on social media. We'll just say that. And obviously, posting. You want to shift to a narrative, right? You want a narrative in your posting, and that means being authentic, right? And that's what people are paying attention to right now. And this isn't just on Instagram, this is on TikTok, it's on Facebook, it's everywhere. Another thing that's coming back is nostalgia. So think about that if you're working on marketing. And that's all the time we have for today. Of course, as always, this has been a Marketing Monday episode. Please reach out to us if you have any questions. You can comment us here. You can go to VIE Media, visit us there. We have a ton of good episodes on this podcast. I know today, on this YouTube channel. I know today was a short one, but we have a ton of stuff going into depth on building websites, SEO, Google Ads, Google Business Profile. I mean, you name it, we've probably talked about in this podcast. If there's something you want to hear us talk about, please leave a comment below or just, again, feel free to reach out to us directly. We appreciate everyone's support. Thank you. We'll see you soon.